Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays. The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. It's been going pretty well. I was just gonna say we're en route for potential double digits today on oh, that's gonna be a back half character, be careful. What else is new? We're living in the land of the lost, baby. BWH9 EQCG. So I am not in any stretch of the imagination assuming or taking for granted this run. All I'm gonna say is that if we win, that is 3 out of 9 runs as the lost. Hey, get out of here with this. Actually, now that I think about it, that might be pretty useful. Every time we press space, we will teleport. All we need is an endlessly reusable spacebar item. We can teleport at leisure. When would we like to teleport? How about after you've been hit once on a room, so that you don't get hit again. Don't get hit again. No, no. Okay, Tomo, you'd like to leave? That's fair. He's not a Who fan, apparently. Ruka, on the other hand, you're sticking it out. Harlequin Baby. Not a particularly meaningful acquisition in the early game. It's less like, you know, trading for JT Miller in the off-season. And more like signing Michael Furland. It's very deep Vancouver Canucks reference. You're gonna have to be a fan of the team to get that one. But I no longer will I... Ooh, careful, brother. We can't press space on this one, because we will be re-rolling Holy Mantle. So you gotta be just nut up on this one. Anyway, what I was gonna say, the bit there was, I'm no longer going to explain my jokes. I've been told it makes the jokes worse, which I honestly had never thought about nor realized before. Please stop shooting. I'm just worried. Whoa. I'm just worried we're gonna have a weird ricochet and it's all gonna go up. Thank you. Thank you. I think we'll just head down. What we're gonna do, we're gonna establish like a Rap Genius style website. I understand it's not called Rap Genius anymore. It's just called Genius, but well, if anything, that leaves the URL open. We can have Rap Genius and use it to explain my jokes. Hey, in the 2019 offseason, the Vancouver Canucks traded a first-round pick conditional to the Tampa Bay Lightning or New York Rangers, I can't remember which one, in order to snag JT Miller. JT Miller has been a good acquisition for the team so far. They also signed Michael Furland in free agency to a lucrative deal, which has not paid dividends so far. There's the explanation of your joke. I gotta tell you, I did something I haven't done in a long time today. It's 10:49 a.m. on a Thursday. I know, what am I doing up? This is like most streamers' REM sleep. I went grocery shopping in the AM at like 9:30. I went to the grocery store. Why would I do such a thing? Well, you know, we've been I don't want to, we've been insanely busy. It's not like we're doing super important work. It's just a lot of, you know, our normal jobs plus moving, but it's been real busy. I haven't had time to get groceries. Need some groceries, you know? Need some Builder's bars. Need some coffee. Need some bananas. Need some Instant Pot ingredients, etc., etc. So, normally I would go after work, and that's where I meet just an incredible cast of characters. Man who spends 10 minutes picking out a single orange because he's smelling every single one of them 30 times. That's a good one. Man who keeps trying to impress the cashier with Norm Macdonald's stolen jokes. Yeah, I think I'm a workaholic. I'm addicted to workahol. Get it? Get it? That's another classic. You gotta love Parasite here. It's at least a little bit of a help. I'm just trying to think, brother. You think this is our secret room? Enough money might be gleaned to get me a BFF here? Ah! Rude. And I gotta tell you, it was the most non-eventful trip I've ever taken to a grocery store. There was almost nobody in the store. There was no lineup upon leaving. All the normal people who go to the grocery store. First off, where do they all belong? I look at all the groceries. Okay, that's Eleanor Rigby. In case you needed an explanation on that one. Yo, it's a huge get. I think we're better off going for Burnt Penny here, to be honest. But the only character I saw was outside of the grocery store. There was indeed a man wearing a shirt that said 420 on it, and he had like a big basket of stuff, and I can only assume what was in that basket. Someone should let this man know that legalization happened in Canada last year. It's very Vancouver-y. I'm sure it happens in other cities, but I've seen it a few times here. There's, like, you know, marijuana was legalized last October. There's still, every once in a while, you'll just be walking around outside. You're going to be like, this can't possibly be true. I swear to you it is. I don't work for the Vancouver Police Department, so I'm not privy to the internal dialogue on stuff like this, but you'll just find like a table set up somewhere, and it's just some dudes selling illegal black market marijuana. And you just want to be like, dude, what happened? It's legal now. Why are you setting up this weird sketchy table with posters and bulletin boards and stuff? What? I don't understand what you're protesting. You won. You're golden now. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe I should take my own advice, and because I'm not familiar with what they're doing or the issues at hand. Yes, thank you. Not criticize them on a public platform, but what do I know? Okay, so the existence of Shoop da Whoop here is extraordinary. This is extremely good. We're lacking the thing we're always lacking in the modern day parlance of Isaac. Raw stats. But everything else is hunky-dory right now. If we could get... I mean, we have 9 lives. That gives us so much leverage. All we need in order to make this run tick is, well, really like a tiers upgrade and damage upgrades as well. So to get those from our boss / deal with the devil would be very nice. Just looking, paying attention. Tarot cloth is very good. The stars, we can use that on the next floor. Hey man, don't disrespect it. That's not a stars card. That's a 2x stars card. You know how that works? It teleports you to the deal or to the item room, then it teleports you to the item room again. It's an incredible value. I was thinking, like, dude, to be honest with you, this moving stuff, I've talked about it a few times recently, but it's really highlighted for me that, I'm more of a morning person than I thought I was. Like, on, what day was it? It was Tuesday. I went to our new place early, started assembling some IKEA furniture. I don't know if you remembered, I talked about it ad nauseum in that episode. And was very proud of myself for building something that, you know, the average, 13-year-old could probably build. No offense if you are 13. I'm just saying, I'm like more than double your age. And also, I've gone through puberty 4 times. So I should have the necessary, adult musculature to put together a basic piece of Lego-style furniture. Hold on, I'm having trouble focusing. Ruka's cat hair is not an item in Isaac, although it might sound like one, and is just filling the room. And oh my god, is my nose itchy. Oh my lord. Absolutely cursed feeling. I hate the feeling of cat hair in your nose, dude. Help me. Actually, this would be a great time to get a lump of coal. We didn't. I'm not mad. The run is still really, really good. I don't think I'm willing to take the pill. But I really think, you know, I've learned a lot about myself over the past, you know, like several years, but especially like at 30. I feel like I allowed myself to age into the boomer. Excuse me! Did you see what happened there? We got small rock, but it also immediately re-rolled small rock into euthanasia. Alright, this is a weird one. I think we'd rather re-roll both, though. I think we'd rather re-roll both. If we see one good item, we can take it. If we see one good item, we could take it. We're getting super risky now. We can at least use this once, but the other items are basically useless for us. Don't screw me on this one. Now I'm like, that's a real bummer. We should have gone euthanasia and maybe even skipped triple shot, but I don't know. I don't feel like it turned out that badly for us, but losing small rock on that is very painful, but also comical. Like, I used to think I was not a morning person, but honestly, the feeling, it was a weird feeling of satisfaction to finish setting up that IKEA stool and be like, you know what, it's still like early in the day. Like, I could go out for a normal adult lunch hour instead of eating my lunch at like, you know, 4:30 or 5 p.m. That being said, I'm an early-ish riser by streamer standards, but I'm definitely a late eater. I love a 10 p.m. dinner time. I can't explain it. It's just the kind of guy I am, I guess. It's a very strange run. I mean, just the situation we had was strange. Everything else is pretty typical, honestly. Shoop da Whoop is one of the more common items, more common spacebar items in the game, at least. And then on top of that, 9 lives is kind of your classic Lost setup whenever you can get it. Very much missing small rock, though. You know that song that goes, I've been missing you at all, and then they go, missing you, and then he goes, since you've been gone away. We're like the opposite of that song. I have been missing you at all since you've been gone away. Don't dip, thank you. All good, it's HP. I do think it's one of those situations, you know, we would benefit, from taking her slow. We probably do want to go to our curse room. We probably do want to go to our shop. And, I mean, we probably do want to go to the library. Oh, we've already been to the shop. We probably do want to go to the library, though, so that's still worth it. I was hoping maybe we get, like, a Perthrow or something, but... 10 rate of fire, 3.5 damage, you know... It's a blessing in the early game. After so many Cursed Eden runs. But we're getting to the point where it's no longer as much of a blessing. That is becoming kind of an albatross. This requires a little bit of a knowledge of English idioms to understand. I don't know what it is. An albatross, for whatever reason, is not just a bird with a long wingspan. It is also a phrase implying that, you know, something is weighing you down. I don't get it either. Don't take my life. I just wanted to get Bookworm. And even then, you screwed me. Well, next floor there could be big moves. Because we're getting a good deal with the Devil Chance. We got money. Everything is set up. Like, the scaffolding is built on this run. They got load-bearing pillars, seismic mitigation technology. All we need to do is actually make it hospitable for human existence now. You could also drop, well, I can't remember. Are you Yumhard or 9 lives? I would definitely welcome having 18 lives. I hate the troll face, dude. What an emblem, okay? Of yesteryear. My reaction when Derpina realizes I ate her leftovers. You mad, bro? It's a scary thought. Those were not the days. I was there at the genesis, the zenith of Rage Comics. Everybody loved him. I didn't love him. Yeah, you were probably like 7. Okay? Nobody cares about your opinion when you're 7 years old. I was 19. I was a tastemaker. And I gotta tell you, everybody was going gaga over Rage Comics. In hindsight, I mean, this is just basically a worthless card, which is why I used it there. But, in hindsight, very silly. But, you know, I have to tell you, you'll probably feel slightly the same way, you know? When, like, you know, you hit my age, you're gonna talk to your friends and be like, remember all those deep-fried memes we used to send each other? Hey, take it back, NL. Deep-fried memes will live forever. I'm gonna go to bat for the younger generation a little bit. I think deep-fried memes definitely have more staying power than Rage Comics, just because of the fact that it's at least like a style of humor, you know? It's kind of Dadaist, or it's absurd, you know? There's almost like a joke involved. I'm not trying to get overly cerebral here, but you know, the thing is, like, a deep-fried meme almost requires your brain to fill in the blanks of the context, which can be humorous in and of itself. Whereas a Rage comic was just like, like a boss, you know? The punchline was self-evident. It's more like, you know, Jeff Dunham than any kind of, you know, like Lenny Bruce style art or something. Don't shoot me. Also, the light in my office keeps flickering. It's got me freaking out here. Ruka, do you see that? What's going on with... Are we losing power? I paid the electric bill. We shouldn't have any problems with our electricity here. I was just outside like 45 minutes ago. It ain't storming. It's a beautiful day by Vancouver autumn standards. A little chilly, a little windy, but, you know, no rain. It's Blind Melon's least favorite kind of weather. Alright. I want to be clear with everybody involved here. I'm not mad at this run, okay? Oh, small rock. Small rock, please. I know we've already seen small rock. I'm just hoping it could return to us. I'm not mad at this run, because this run has given us survival, which is, you know, more than you could ever ask for by this stage of the game. We got 18 lives. That's kind of ridiculous. However, we have 18 lives, but literally the same damage we had on the very first floor. I understand. Makes me look a little bit entitled. But at the same time, am I not entitled to have fun while playing a video game? I'm not asking for items, you know, specifically to glorify mine own image. I'm asking for items that could give us a chance to reach peak enjoyment from the Binding of Isaac standpoint. I have faith. I have faith this one's gonna work for us. Well, I guess it would be nice. Why has that not been used in a movie trailer yet? Like a movie trailer about a religion gone wrong, you know? Gotta have faith. It's prime for a DC Universe trailer. I gotta have faith. 'Cause you gotta have faith, faith, faith. It would work. You know it, I know it. Stop questioning it. I don't think it's good enough, but it is... To get the map is almost close. Don't really care about smelting this trinket that much and getting a few extra bombs. Okay, in hindsight, this is where we have to stop. Which is okay. At least we do get some extra bombs out of it. It's not a terrible deal. Don't give me I'm excited, you coward. Degas Yera. Where's my per throw at, please? Did you hear that? It was take on me. You're just waiting to happen. Okay, so obviously we're not gonna get our boss rush here. That's totally fine. Yeah, you know, it might surprise you. I don't really have much of an interest in all those I'm excited pills. You know what? The sun cards are a different story. Sir? What? What hit me? I'm not mad, I'm just... What hit me is what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm not upset. It's just when you went to the bathroom to do the mud pie, you used too small a slice. That was way easier. Am I a joke to you? Is that what's happening here? How many absolutely useless familiars can you pick up on a single run? It's a tale of two runs. We got, you know, one run with Tarot Cloth, Parasite, 9 lives. It's got some pretty solid optics when it comes to winning a run here. And then we got another run consisting of every other item we've seen over the course of the entire game so far. And it's just, that's a run where you're like, it's miserable. You know what? It may surprise you or may not. But one of the most, like, important items we've picked up was Burnt Penny. If it were not for Burnt Penny, what a tale my thoughts would tell. I don't know the rest of the words. All I know is, I don't know where we went wrong, but the feeling's gone and I just can't get it. I don't something feel this way, but I do. You know, if I could... That's not share, is it? No, share is if I could turn back time. That's a different sort of setup. Okay, 72.5% chance of a deal with the devil. We have to beat Mom first, obviously, but... Hey, range upgrade. Just what the doctor friggin' ordered. We're gonna go back. We're gonna grab one of our sun cards and we're gonna get ready again. You know what movie I did watch last night? I basically... My days are like... and this is not complaining. It's a privilege to be in this position. But, you know, wake up, go to the gym and have a little shake-up. Hide the scars that fade away. Drink a little coffee and start recording. Put together IKEA furniture in the morning. But then at night, you know, maybe around 10 or 11 p.m., totally set for the next day. And I just, you know, turn on the TV, see what's on the movie channel, see what's on HBO. Because I've said it before, I won't belabor the point. I appreciate the movie channel in the sense that, you know, in a world with unlimited choice, I actually respect having the option for the movie channel to just restrict choices to like 4 available things. It minimizes the amount of time I spend looking for the perfect thing to watch, which does not exist. Anyway, I watched this British movie that I've seen a couple of times before called The Trip. It's a very, very popular movie that still a lot of people don't know about that well, especially in North America. But it's not an unknown film, let me make that clear. But it stars Steve Coogan, Rob Brydon as two middle-aged men on a road trip visiting fancy restaurants, and just, it's kind of like a My Dinner with Andre sort of thing, with very little plot overarching within it, but just a sublime movie. What most people know it for, and I mean, it is hilarious. This is, you know, they're kind of like dueling Michael Caine impressions. If you don't do the broken voice, when he talks loudly, he talks very loud indeed, you know. And that, I mean, you could tell like 99% of the script is improvised. But also, every time I watch it, you know, I watched it like when it came out, and I was like, I don't get it, but these guys are funny. Then I watched it on an airplane like a few years later, you know, and a few years older, obviously. And I was like, the movie's hitting me on a different level. You know, it's now, you know, I'm working in media. However small the scale as compared to what these guys are. And some of the stuff they're saying, it relates to me a little differently than it did when the movie originally came out. And then, why? Why do you do this to me? I just want to enjoy the game. Then now I saw it, you know, and I'm not old, but I'm 30. And, you know, they're talking about what it means to get older, not just, you know, as a person and as a man, but also, like, you know, with respect to your friends. And you see, like, the difference between the two characters. One of them is still, you know, not unrelatable, but a little fame obsessed, despite his age starting to pull things away. And the other is, you know, content with his relatively smaller level of success, but at the same time, could definitely be argued over the course of the film, has a more, you know, enriching life. I think a lot of people can see a little bit of themselves in both characters. I have not seen the sequel. For me, I mean, I heard the sequel was not as good, for one, but, you know, it's a movie that I don't think necessarily believe it needed a sequel to begin with. It also is one of, like, it's a weird thing to say if you haven't seen the movie or you haven't seen it in a while, but I really respect the fact that the movie just ends. I think it's a smart decision. Nothing is resolved by the end of the movie. You know, it's just a movie about two guys that are on a trip. When the trip's over, you know, you see a little bit of them at home, and then it's just the end. You know? There's character development, but there's no, like, moment at the end where you're like, oh, this is end, and then it's everything's gonna be okay. It's just like, no, that's where the movie ends there because the trip ended there, and it's still up in the air. It's a very smart film for a comedy that largely consists of one man doing an impression of a tiny man being trapped inside of a box. Very good movie. I would recommend it. See, I'm not just a Marvel shill. I'm not just a Marvel shill. I can appreciate the finer aspects of cinema as well. I keep trying to find a place that's actually playing Parasite in Vancouver. Hey, NL, I know a place where you can find it. Oh yeah, no kidding. Wow, I've never heard of the place that you're going to recommend for me. I also have never heard about Irony, as somebody who makes their living in online media. Not really, you know, interested in making a habit of doing what you're interested in suggesting. You know what I mean? But there is another way. I could just wait until it comes to theaters here. Stop hitting me with the yo-ho me hearties. Hold on, I've been tweeted a GIF. What is the GIF? Oh, it's Kate downloaded TikTok. She's sending me TikToks. Don't even tell. Oh, TikTok forehead. Oh, cringe. Haha. I know all the emotes. I've been on Twitch long enough. I know most of the emotes. I'm still confused about Ella Giggle. But, the most popular Twitter videos are recycled TikTok memes. So that's the forefront of cutting-edge social media comedy. Speaking of being like 20 years behind the times, I was thinking about getting an Instagram account, you know? I don't really understand Instagram at all, but I see that people are doing big numbers on it. I can't believe I did not die there. So I was thinking I would just set up like an Instagram account and it just posts like, you know, just like stand in the same place every single day and just take a picture of myself, you know? and then post it. And then years later, I could look back and be like, wow. That's how much you change over the course of 1 year, huh? It's not really a good idea, which is why I probably will not do it. I don't really get any form of social media, but I think what attracts me to the idea of setting up a completely useless Instagram account is just that, you know, it would be the first social media platform in like a decade where I would know what I'm doing with it on the way in. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when I first got started on Twitter, I didn't understand how it worked. I didn't understand that if people tweeted you nasty stuff, you didn't have to reply. Instead, you could just be like, enjoy your terrible life, you piece of garbage. Which is really where I'm at right now. So on Insta, you know, there's a chance, what the kids are calling it these days. There's a chance I could get things started on the right foot there. You know what I mean? And then if somebody tweeted me or posted some negative comments on my Instagram, you could be like, I'm still going deal with the devil, by the way, but you could be like, hey, dude, first off, blocked, reported, etc., etc. Secondly, what are you wasting your life with? I'm just taking a picture of myself standing in the same spot every day. You know what I mean? Maybe not. It's not a very relatable bit. I'll level with you. Here's the thing. I watched that Paul Rudd Hot Ones episode, and Sean Evans was like, you know, there's no place for us to send people to because you have no social media presence whatsoever. I was like, dude, I gotta take a page out of Paul Rudd's notebook. That's genius. I mean, he's in a, I don't know. People in my business, quote-unquote business, are always aiming for some sort of, like, marketing legitimacy that I'm always like, why would you ever endeavor to be taken seriously in this business when instead you could just have fun forever? But anyway, what do I know? And I know it's rare for me to be the guy who's like, don't take yourself so seriously. But it's been, you know, both Ninja and Shroud moved to Mixer, and I gotta endure all these people that I follow for, you know, quote-unquote networking / politeness reasons, be like, this is what this means for our industry, and there's a 3.7% tectonic shift towards engagement in this direction. And I'm like, brother, you play like Path of Exile, and you know, that's people, thousands of people watch you play a little RPG, like a little digitized Dungeons and Dragons. Why are you trying to act like you're you know, Jim Cramer Mad Money here? You don't need to. I get there's like there's a deep-seated ambition to be taken seriously, and in our industry, I can understand it actually, because, you know, we play with toys for a living, so, you know, there's maybe a chip on our shoulder about being like a real, you know, adult business, but like, I'm also like, who cares? Also, you don't have an MBA. You have a bachelor's of science in biology like me. No, I'm not excited, okay? But anyway, what was I talking about? I think he's got the right idea. People in my business are always like, you need a Twitter account. And I'm like, maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know. I don't necessarily think you do. I don't care. Tommy Lee Jones. I don't care. What do you think is a funnier joke name for Tommy Lee Jones? Jommy Lee Tones? Lamy G Tones? Or Johnny T Loans? I think I'm a Lonnie T. Johnny T Loans? Where am I going with this? I can't. My brain has been turned inside out. My brain has been a little bit turned inside out by the fact that we're still at base damage. Edmund, are you watching? Help me! This is like the 5th time in 9 episodes we've had this. I'm begging you. Save me. Save the game. There's still time. There's still a chance. I know small rock got rerolled. There wasn't really, I mean, there was something I could do there, but come on. Place the first bomb slightly away from the radius of the reroll machine just in case. Who do you think I am? Sinvicta? Sinvicta's a fine-grained detail guy. Sinvicta, all the love in the world, but I am going to make a bit. It's not really at your expense. It's just to contrast you and me. I saw you engaging with people about whether or not, you know, the angelic brimstone is a good item, and you know they're arguing with you, you're arguing with them. I was stunned to see that there are still people in the Isaac community that are interested in arguing over the relative quality of the items in the game. That was the takeaway message for me. I was like, you know, this game is old, right? It's a damage upgrade. I'm not that kind. I'm more the kind of guy who's like, you know, I'll start a video and be like, what do you guys think of universal basic income? And then, you know, spend 45 minutes trying to get myself out of that pit. Well, we have finally gotten a damage upgrade. And I think I gotta say this run, you know, we owe it thanks for the obvious reason, which is the survivability. But we also owe it thank you because of the fact that this run has essentially become a test. It is a test of the bare minimum level of offense needed to win a run when you have this absurd level of defense. You know, we have 18 lives and Holy Mantle. It turns out you don't really need much else going on. If you got that kind of caliber of defense, you don't need too much else. I'll level with you. I don't know if we're going to need the 18th life either. We've only used 2 lives so far, which, if you'll allow me to toot my horn, I think that's kind of impressive given the, you know, the item caliber we've had so far, which apart from, well, I mean, basically, until we got Succubus and Maw of the Void was relatively bad on an offensive level. Sure, actually, Algiz is a very nice kind of peace of mind upgrade for us. But, you know, I am taking this run for granted now, I'll admit. We're about to hit 9 runs in a row, won, with 3 of them as the lost. That's pretty impressive. Is, you know, the lost, not the hardest character to win with. That, of course, is Lilith and Azazel, based on my track record. I'm just kidding about Azazel. I'm not really kidding about Lilith, though. What? Man, I would have loved for that to have been the Joker. And for it to tell me how it got these scars. I think we do want Tammy's head here. Yeah, just yeet every key. For no reason. It's close, I'll admit, okay? It's close. Tammy's head versus Shoop the Whoop. I like that Tammy's head is usable room to room. We are also not really using Shoop the Whoop as much anymore because we have Maw of the Void, which is usually good enough to kill most of the enemies in a room, especially if they're weak to begin with. Amazing. Wow, amazing. Very good. Isn't that right, Zach? Sorry, I understand. I sound congested right now. But it's because the cat hair in the air is reaching a critical max. I know it's... I'm sorry, I meant a local maximum. It's not a global maximum. There's probably places on Earth with more cat hair in the air. But this is up there, is all I'm trying to get across. You know what? I think we pop Algiz right off the bat. Simplify this fight a little bit. Be proactive instead of reactive. That is one of those statements. I don't like the statement, be proactive instead of reactive. Because I think it's one of those things that it comes across as a universal truth, but there's probably situations where it's better to be reactive than to be proactive. I'm struggling to think of one, but at the same time, you know, of course, if you can see a problem coming, it's better to get out in front of it. But unless, you know, the problem is so unlikely to happen that the time invested, the resources invested, in order to, you know, get out in front of it, would be better served perhaps applying a greater expected yield to your life. Not to use a Magic the Gathering term. But you know, you could take that to the extreme is what I'm trying to say. Like, better to be proactive instead of reactive. You're like, oh, is that why you're, you know, building a nuclear bunker under your house? Is that why you cleared out your retirement fund? So you could be proactive in the event of a nuclear war instead of reactive? I would say if you did that in the 1960s, you know, you would probably be like, you know what? It would have been better to be reactive in that situation. Who knows? This might age really poorly, though. Nobody knows yet. The D100. Absolutely not. In fact, I am stunned by the complete uselessness of just about every item that showed up right there. This is a spectacular failure. But you know what? That's, without being too salty, it's pretty much in keeping with the relative power level of the run so far. The game has not seen fit, and this has happened on a few runs in a row here. The game has not seen fit to give me good stuff. I mean, it gave me amazing defense, and we start with amazing defense. So I want to be clear, I'm not complaining too much. They did give me a path to victory. It's just a very boring path to victory. But, on the other hand, gave us lots of time for banter, which doesn't always happen on a Lost run. So, you know, you take the good with the bad, I suppose. And we're going to get a chance to go for a double-digit streak. So there, I got that going for me, which is nice. Please tell me. Yes, this is not a dead end. This is like my favorite room here, too. As hard as it could possibly get, maximum it takes 1 life from us. Okay, that's fine. These guys will give me Yum Heart if they give me an item. I know you're like, what about getting 24 lives or 25 lives? Not today, probably. Dad's Key does allow us to fight Mega Satan, but I am a noted coward now, and I don't really want to fight Mega Satan. My tune may change, but it will require us picking up something like an Alga's Room. Look, I'll start doing the fun optional bosses and, you know, getting a little zanier when the game has some respect for me. And I think that's a fair thing to talk about right now, you know? Why am I putting my neck out for this game when it doesn't give me, you know, the same kind of leeway that it gave me earlier in its existence? Well, NL, it's a very simple answer. It's because, you know, you and the game are not in a contentious relationship. Rather, you know, your obligation is to the fans and the viewers, not to the, you know, you're not engaged in some weird kind of bravado-driven art of the deal nonsense. Who's got the stronger handshake, you or Edmund McMillan? Okay? While true, shut up. You know, it's just, you'd be more motivated to do some of the wacky stuff in the game if the game was like, hey, here's the ability to do some of the wacky stuff. You know what I mean? Tech Point 5, you know what? If this is the start of our compromise, I'm for it. It's pretty helpful. All I can think about, I am 100% consumed, like you know, Captain Ahab, with the idea of blowing my nose when this video is over. Please. My son, I know you don't control the shedding. I don't want to be that guy, because, you know, I have body hair, and then, you know, sometimes Kate's like, how does your body hair get everywhere? And I'm like, oh, yes, my mistake. I hit the shed button. Just, you know, it just falls off sometimes. You know, you lose a hair here. You lose a hair there, you lose a hair here, and you shake it all around. You do the hokey pokey and yeah. I don't know the lyrics to the hokey pokey. I'm sure if I thought about it for more than 2 seconds I could, but unfortunately every single nerve in my body is just all consumed with this cat hair. Just inundated with feline chitin. I don't know if hair is made of chitin. You know, these are, I'll admit, these are things you should know. You know, if you got a degree in biology, but at the same time, you know, they don't really test you once you get the degree. Kind of just, you know, once you got it, you've proven you can do it, then, you know, it doesn't really matter after that point, fortunately or unfortunately. Okay, we're safe. I mean, you gotta admit, it's pretty absurd. I also feel bad because now I'm realizing, you know, like, people are gonna watch this video because it's an hour long, and they're gonna be like, wow, it's a train wreck. But it's not a train wreck. Like, I mean, it's actually, above all else, it's like extremely safe. It's just long because we have no damage. Let me rephrase. It's long because we have less damage than you would expect to have at this point on a reasonable run. But it is what it is, and I'm stoked we're gonna come away with the dub. And we are gonna come away with the dub. I'm also not okay. Well, I mean, we got a staggering amount of lives with which to make something happen here. So I'm gonna try to make it work on the first one, but mostly, yeah, it was bad positioning on that one, largely. Could also get like a decent amount of mileage, I think, just by placing some bombs. It's the purple shots, dude. The purple shots are like, that's the only shots you really have to pay attention to for a long period of time. Every other shot you just get out of the way. The purple shots, they defy the laws of physics, and I mean that sincerely. They gain speed despite not having any propulsion. You know what I mean? When they see you, when they start tracking you, they go faster. I don't see any kind of you know, ballast being tossed in order to make that happen. So you'll forgive me, but I'm a little confused. Sorry, we still got just a staggering amount of lives here. We really could just dodge forehead and wait for Succubus to do the job for us. It is a bit miserable, though. It'll probably be a little bit easier once we get to the point where he starts moving around. You know, we can afford to maybe get a little bit wilder with the bombs we send them. You know, Leech is doing his best, supposedly. Very slight amount of progress is being made here. I mean, I don't want to, you know, toot my own horn too much, but this is actually, like, you gotta be pretty decent in Isaac just to do this. Like, that was a really well-handled fight, except for the fact that I died 6 times. Anyway, for now, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button, helps the radio, of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya! See ya! If I can hit Ruka, can I hit the button?